It just feels weird sometimes coming into the smaller airports because sometimes it just feels like airports are supposed to be massive and hectic with so many people traveling to different locations, but you come to the smaller airport and it feels different. What's up, YouTube, and welcome to Travel Adventures with Eric B. I'm Eric B, and today I'm at my local metropolitan airport here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Today we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of flying out of smaller metropolitan airports. Let's get started. Let's go. One pro of flying from a smaller airport is you'll pay less for parking. This airport in Baton Rouge charges $8 a day for parking. Some smaller airports don't charge at all or may charge $5 for parking. When I fly to New Orleans airport, I pay $20 a day for parking. So one pro is definitely you'll pay less money for parking. Flying out of your smaller metropolitan airports are a lot less people here. Look around, see how many empty parking spaces there are. When you fly out of the major airports, you never find as many empty parking spots, so you can arrive at the airport a little bit later and not have to worry about crazy lines when there's not as many people. I know all small airports aren't created equal, but usually they're like this. They're pretty dead, and if you're coming to social distance and not be around a lot of people, then that's a good thing. Number 3 starts with the line to check your bags. There is no one in line to check my bags. I'm able to walk up and check my bags, and I'm able to stand behind maybe 3-4 people at security and go straight through security. There's no way I've ever been able to do this, even during the slowest times in the big airports, to be able to stand in no line, check my bags, and make it through security. Pro number 4 to these regional and metropolitan airports is you don't have to do things like get on the air train and go from end to end, because each end of the airport is right there. You can walk without having to worry about catching a train to go from end to end, which is a major inconvenience if you're someone who struggles to get around, or if you're someone who can get around and just doesn't want to do it. So I will admit to you, I do kind of enjoy the air train. It's pretty fun at times, but only if you have time to spare. If you have a short connection, the air train can get you, like it got me one time when I needed to catch a connection to Los Angeles from Dallas. There was only a 40-minute connection between flights, and I couldn't make it in time. Now, pro number 5, I'm going to keep very short and simple. Pro number 5 is just simply being able to arrive at home. Maybe you don't live in the bigger city with the bigger airport, then you'll be able to not have to deal with the same traffic and whatnot. You can just go to the airport, and then when you come back from the airport, you're at home. Or you can easily get dropped off and not have to pay for the parking fees at all. One major con of flying out of the smaller airports is the lack of variety in terms of airlines and in terms of flights. You look at all of these are all of the arrivals and departures during the course of the day. And if you're looking for a direct flight, you can only fly directly to Atlanta, Charlotte, Houston, and Dallas, which is a major disappointment if you're looking to fly somewhere else. We used to have Frontier that went to Denver, and we used to have a couple other airlines in the past, but right now you only got 3 airlines that fly to 4 cities. But if you look at that board and you adjust the position, and you're going to see the board at DFW in just a moment, you'll see that the DFW board, the arrivals and the departures, the amount of airlines and the amount of flights during the course of the day is such a dramatic difference. So it's all about you. Do you like to go big or you like to go small? Con number 2. Well, fancy bathrooms, but no. Con number 2 is going to be the variety in terms of shopping and your foods. You got all types of nice restaurants where when you go to these smaller airports, you have very few variety to choose from. In these bigger airports, you have tons of places, and then you have a lot of beautiful artwork and things like that as well. But if you want to eat, you want to be able to shop, you want to be able to go to duty free, there's just so much more you can do in the larger airports than you can in these smaller airports. And I mentioned the artwork. Las Vegas airport is a perfect example. You got slot machines, you got the huge baggage claim. I mean, you just got so much more to do decoratively. Not only can you just shop and eat and do whatever, It's like a big mall almost. Then you also have your airport transfers and your private rides and things like that you don't always find readily in your smaller airports, but in your larger airports, you lose out on the whole process. Another con is the smaller airplanes. The aircraft, as you can see right here, is very small. This is American Eagle flying American Airlines. In the front, in business class, you got a 1-2 format and you got a 2-2 format the rest of the way. So this plane is about half the size of a regular American Airlines flight. Regular American Airlines flights, you got so much more room and you can feel a lot more turbulence on these smaller flights. And I know a lot of people don't like the smaller flights because they do feel more turbulence, and if you're a little more claustrophobic, you also want to take the bigger flights, so that can be a major con for you as well if you feel that way. Now, me personally, I don't mind the smaller aircraft. I don't mind the bigger aircraft. The only thing I care about is I like getting in the air and I like getting to my destinations. I actually really enjoy flying. I know some people like to travel and they have panic attacks and they don't like to fly and everything. But if you're looking for me to tell you that I don't enjoy flying, you're talking to the wrong person, because I love being in the air. I love being in the clouds. It's all part of the fun experience. The only thing that I don't like, that's going to be the security gate. I don't like the security gate. Number 4 goes along with what I was saying earlier when I talked about the variety of flights, is the airlines. You look at all the different airlines that you see available at the larger airports. The smaller airports, like I say, the real small ones like the one in Baton Rouge and the ones all over Louisiana other than New Orleans, all you get is United, Delta, and American, the standard ones, the ones that everyone pretty much have. Con number 5, the final one, is lounge access. I'm going to keep this one light, but your priority pass generally doesn't work in the smaller airports. You probably definitely want to get a Centurion or Amex lounge in the smaller airports. So to recap it, the 5 pros: cheaper parking, number 1. Number 2, less foot traffic, easier to get in and out. Pro number 3, check-in lines and security, easy peasy, easy to get in and out. Pro number 4, no air train or long distance to go to get to your gates. Pro number 5, you feel like you're at home because it's easy to get in and out of, and you can get someone to drop you off and pick you up a little bit easier than have to deal with the big airports. And the cons: lack of variety in terms of flights would be number 1. Not a lot of flights. You can take only a few per day. Con number 2, shops and restaurants. Not many places you can go eat at or many places you can go shop. Con number 3, smaller aircraft. A lot of people don't like the turbulence or are claustrophobic to having less room. Con number 4, variety of airlines. Very few airlines compared to a large amount. And con number 5, the lounge access. Not a lot of lounges, if any. Which also goes into not a lot of luxury, if you like luxury. And that's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I ask that you please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the bell notification so you can know when I have more material coming out in the future, and help us to continue to grow as a travel community. Remember, as always, live today, grow today, tomorrow's never guaranteed. Peace!